schoolers, do you know what time it is? Are you looking at your watch? I don't have on a watch today. I'm just pretending. I'm looking. I know what time it is. Aha! It's story time. Did you already say that? I bet you did. You're pretty smart. The story I'd like to read to you today is called The Princess and the Pig. Doesn't that sound very interesting? I think it is. But first, before we listen to a story, we have to sing our gathering time song. So are you ready? It's a repeating song. So repeat after me. Good morning. How are you? It's so good. Are you saying it? To see you. Let's sing it. Be happy. Give yourself a big smile and now a hug. Because we're all back together again. With a 1 and a 2 and a me and a you and that train clock and a soft hello. We're back together again. Now, the story is called The Princess and the Pig. Are you sitting down? Crisscross applesauce, I hope. Are your hands in your lap? You're gonna like it. I'm sure of it. It says, what do you see? There's a little piggy. Not that long ago, in a kingdom not far away from here, there was a farmer traveling home from the market with a cartload of straw. The farmer was so poor that he didn't have a horse and he had to pull his own cart. There he is. And if you look right there, there's the pig. In the back of the cart lay a tiny pink piglet. Nobody wanted to buy the piglet at the market, but the farmer had taken pity on it. There he is holding it. I'll call you Pigmilla, he decided, as this seemed like a good name for a pig. What do you think, friends? Is that a good name for a pig? I think so. It was a hot day and the farmer stopped to rest in the shade of the great castle. Far, far above him on a high balcony was a queen inspecting her new baby daughter. That's the queen. There's a little baby princess. The queen was so rich that she had 7 nannies and didn't have to look after her own child. The queen picked the baby out of her cradle and held her at arm's length. I'll call it Priscilla, she decided, as this seemed like a good name for a princess. I like that name. Priscilla, that's pretty. A moment later, a wet, squelching noise came from the baby's diaper, closely followed by an awful smell. Yuck! Shrieked the queen, dropping the baby and running out to find one of the royal nannies. She left so quickly that she didn't notice she had dropped her baby. Oh my goodness, friends, look at that. Over the edge of the balcony, there she goes. But if you look down there, friends, there's the farmer. There's his cart. Oh. Do you think what's going to happen? Do you think that baby's going to fall into the farmer's cart? Down, down, down went the baby into the farmer's cart, just like we thought. And up, up, up flew the piglet into the princess's cradle. Oh, wow. Did you know that was going to happen? When the queen returned and found the piglet lying where the princess had been, where the baby should have been, she let out an even louder shriek and fainted into the arms of the nanny. There's the queen. There's the little pig in the princess's bed. The king thought he knew what had happened. A bad fairy has done this, he explained. The fairy wasn't invited to the princess's christening, so she's turned the baby into a piglet to get her revenge. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. There's the king, and he's reading Sleeping Beauty. That did happen in Sleeping Beauty. There's the little pig, or is it now the princess? I think these grown-ups are confused. Meanwhile, the farmer had returned home, and he was surprised to discover a baby girl lying where the piglet should have been. There she is. That's Priscilla. The farmer's wife thought she knew what had happened. A good fairy has done this, she explained. The fairy knew how poor and honest we are, and how badly we wanted a child. So she turned the piglet into a baby. It's a sort of thing that happens all the time in books. And there's the farmer's wife, and she's reading the book. Oh, it's called Thumbelina. That's what she's reading. And so without a second thought, the baby became Pigmilla, the farmer's daughter. There she is. And the piglet became Priscilla, the royal princess. Can you imagine thinking that little pig was really the princess? It wasn't long before Pigmilla was able to eat, walk, and get dressed all by herself. And the farmer and his wife soon forgot that she had ever been a pig. Things were not as easy for Priscilla. Remember, Priscilla is the pig now. There she is trying to eat. That's not how a princess eats. Here she is trying to get dressed. That's not how a princess gets dressed. Look, she actually ran out of her dress. But the king and queen never let anyone forget that she was really a princess. She's a pig. Are you saying that? Say she's a pig. As Pigmilla grew older, she grew smarter. Here she is reading a book, and beautiful, and was admired by everyone she met. Oh, here she is at her birthday party. As Priscilla grew older, she grew not so smart. She's eating a book. And not so beautiful. Her nannies are trying to put makeup on her. And she was avoided by everyone she met. Nobody wants to talk or play with her. She's a pig. Are you saying that? She's a pig. She's not really a princess. Then one day, the farmer's wife overheard some of the castle servants talking about the princess who was turned into a pig. It's just like what happened to Pigmilla, she told her husband, only it's the other way around. The farmer soon guessed what had happened. The princess and the pig must have swapped places somehow, he explained. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. He's reading another book, The Prince and the Pauper. The poor farmer and his wife were very unhappy. They loved Pigmilla, and they knew they must return her to her rightful home. There she is. She's really the princess, isn't she? She was not the pig. Pigmilla was so unhappy. She loved the farmer and his wife, and she did not want to live with anyone else. But they were an honest family, so the next day they all went to the castle to see the king and the queen. The king and the queen listened to the farmer's story. There's the princess, who's really Pigmilla. Do you see her? But they didn't believe it. The king and queen didn't believe it. What nonsense, cried the queen. Ridiculous, the king laughed. This girl may be smart and beautiful, but she does not look or speak like a real princess. There she is. That's really the princess, and that's really the pig. The queen thought she knew what was happening. It's a trick, she declared. This girl is just the farmer's daughter pretending to be a princess so that she can marry a prince. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. And the queen is reading a book called Puss in Boots. And so I must have skipped a page. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's see. Did I skip a page? I did not. And so Pigmilla returned home with the farmer and his wife. And she married and she married a young shepherd, and she lived happily ever after, and never once wished that she had ever been a princess. Oh, there she is. So she stayed with the farmer and his wife, and she kept the name Pigmilla. Wow. There's the castle in the background. She looks very happy, doesn't she? Let's see whatever happened to Princess Priscilla, who's really the pig. Let's see. And Priscilla also got married. There she is in her wedding gown. Do you see her? She married a handsome prince, although he had to be talked into it. Priscilla was changed into a pig by a bad fairy, the king explained. But once you kiss her, the spell will be broken, and she will turn back into a beautiful princess, said the queen. That's not going to happen, is it? We know it's not going to happen. It's a sort of thing that happens all the time in books, they assured the prince. That's the prince. And they're reading a book called The Frog Prince, trying to convince him to marry the pig. But unfortunately for the prince, unfortunately means it didn't happen. It's not the sort of thing that happens in this particular book. So this prince really married a pig. And the pig was pretending to be the princess. But she wasn't, was she? Boy, that story was kind of confusing. Did you follow along okay? I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you, preschool. Bye-bye.